Hey guys, welcome back to Money with Marcus. If you are new here today, don't forget to like and subscribe for a new video every week, just helping you get better with your money. So in this video today, I'm actually going to go over 5 books that I think you really need to pick up if you're just getting started with investing. And even if you're not, I think you should pick them up anyways. They're a pretty good read. So just keep in mind, the books are actually not ranked in order of best to worst, but more so it's ranked in the order I would go about reading them. So with that being said, let's get straight into it. So guys, coming in at number 1 is Unshakable by Tony Robbins. Now, the reason I actually would recommend going with this one to start off with is because Unshakable is actually, it's really about a mindset. It does a great job in preparing you mentally for what you're about to get yourself into in the market. So it does this by really taking you over the history of the market and kind of letting you know that, bear markets and recessions are actually just a normal part of the market. So for example, apparently there's a recession every 7 to 10 years, right? So once you know that these things are actually normal, just a normal part of the market, you'll actually then not panic sell or go too crazy if and when it does come. That way you can actually hold and stay invested long term. So one of the other really cool things about the book is that it actually also goes over the flaws of being heavily invested into managed mutual funds. It'll go over the consequences of having a fund that charges you 1 to 2% annually. At first it doesn't sound like a whole lot, but you'd actually be surprised at how much of your retirement fund they're actually going to end up taking from you at the end of it. It really does add up. And so Tony does a really good job of just making you aware of the consequences of just staying invested in one of these mutual funds. Another flaw that the book actually goes over about mutual funds is that you're paying these fees to the fund manager to outperform the market, right? You're paying him to get you returns that are better than what the market's bringing back. But in actual fact, most of these mutual funds, most of them have actually failed to outperform the market. So really, you're kind of paying for mediocre returns. And if they're not doing their job or what they're supposed to do, why should you be giving them a huge chunk of your retirement fund? Right? So it really does open up your mind to these things. It really does open up your mind to things that you think aren't a big deal. But this is how they're making billions of dollars off, pensioners and your retirement funds. So the book does a great job of showing you that, just staying invested in the market and just keeping your money in the market long term and letting it compound for you can actually build up a very, very respectable retirement fund waiting for you at the end of the line. You don't actually have to be this guru stock picker, or you don't have to be deeply involved in the market to have a decent retirement. If you're prepared to hold long term and just ride throughout the dips, the book does show that you can actually have a very respectable retirement waiting for you at the end of that. So all in all, this is a great book to start off with, especially for those who are just looking to be a passive investor. For those who aren't actually looking to pick individual stocks and to value individual companies, you just want to put your money into the market and let it work for you long term. If you have a long time horizon, if you're investing for the long term, this could be a very viable strategy for you. And so coming in at number 2 is Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. This one's obviously on everyone's list, and that's for very good reason. It's actually a great personal finance book to get started on. A very entertaining read as well. So Rich Dad, Poor Dad will really challenge the way you look at assets, the way you look at how you make your money, and the way you look at liabilities. It will really open up your mind, and it'll show you the difference in how the rich and successful actually go about looking at these things versus how the poor and less successful do it. For example, most people will actually look at buying a house and buying their first home as an asset, right? You look at your house as an asset, whereas Robert will actually beg to differ, and he'll show you why the way most people approach buying a house, it actually makes that house a liability. Right? It's because you're actually spending money on it. It's actually taking money out of your pocket rather than adding money into your bank account. So that's just a very basic summary of how Robert approaches assets and liabilities. Basically, if it's taking money out of your pocket, it's a liability. Where if it's adding money into your wallet, it's then an asset. So an asset should always be making you more money, and you should always be looking at putting your money into things that's going to earn you more money. So the book's also quite an entertaining read because you'll actually be following Robert, where he explains how his poor dad, which is actually his biological dad, who is, by the way, a well-educated, highly educated man who has a really good job, but is still living paycheck to paycheck. And when he actually passed and left nothing but debt behind. Versus how his rich dad, which is actually his best friend's dad, who is also a local entrepreneur who dropped out of school quite early in life, who later on went on to become a very rich and successful person. So in the book, Robert actually learns from his rich dad, who teaches him how to spend money and how to view assets and how to view liabilities and how to make your money work for you. I have this one actually quite high up, quite early up in the list, because I feel like once you've read this book, it really does hit home home that you do need to actually do something. You actually do need to start looking at investing your money. You really start looking at how you're spending your money. You really need to start looking at where you're spending your money, what your assets are and what your liabilities are, so that you can actually set yourself up for a comfortable future ahead. All in all, this book is definitely a must read, whether you're into personal finance or not. Coming in third is Invested, co-authored by Danielle and Phil Town. Now we're getting more into learning about picking individual stocks and really learning how to value companies. Now the reason I would recommend starting with this book is because Danielle will be taking you through her journey, coming as someone who started out as a real skeptic when it comes to investing, to now someone who can confidently value a company and is now actually teaching people how to invest. So you'll be following along from Danielle's perspective, who's learning from her dad. Now she's a complete beginner, so that's what's going to make this book a really easy read for someone who's just starting out on their investing journey. And guys, if you're getting any value in the video so far, don't forget to like and subscribe down below. And book number 4 is actually following up from the last one, and that's Rule 1 Investing by Phil Town. And so Phil Town is a huge advocate of value investing, and that's investing like how Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger do it. So instead of beating around the bush and using vague quotes from one of Buffett's many lessons during his investor calls or during his letters, Phil Town actually just lays it out step by step on how you're going to go about valuing a company. Instead of just saying you must know the intrinsic value of a company, he's actually going to take you through how to calculate the intrinsic value of the company. He's going to tell you X plus Y equals Z. Overall, this book is a great step-by-step guide to putting a value on a company and really understanding value investing. So the final book that I would recommend reading is The Dando Investor, written by Monish Pabrai. So Monish is another deep value investor who made a name for himself by making some incredible gains in the market. I mean, Dando directly translated means endeavors that create wealth. I mean, do I need to say anything else? In this book, you'll learn that the age-old finance adage that in order to get high returns, you have to take high risks isn't necessarily true. By using the Dando framework, Manesh will actually take you through many examples whereby he was able to make incredible returns by investing in opportunities where it's heads, I win, tails, I don't lose much. Overall, another fantastic value investing gem that's actually a great read and it's well worth picking up. So guys, that's my top 5. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Have you guys read any of these and what do you think about them? If not, do you have your own recommendations or any books that you'd like to share with the rest of us? Comment down below and let me know. But guys, that's it for the video today. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video and head to the channel for more videos like this, just helping you out with your investing journey.